Hello and welcome to part 4. This is the last hour of my playthrough on Civilization 5 with the Koreans on the Deity difficulty level. I am just as curious as anyone else on how I won this game. I mentioned this on my last video, rewatching this. Um, I'm surprised I even tried to go for a victory once I saw that the Arabians had already started building the spaceship, and I wasn't even close to getting the Apollo program. It looked like it was a lost cause, but I I did win this game. I'm hoping this is the game I remember. I remember winning this game. I hope I'm not confusing it with some other instance, but I am about 99% sure that I did win this game, and I am curious to see how it happened, because at this point I still don't have the Apollo program. And I think the Arabians have already built at least one spaceship component, so I am very far behind. Here I'm doing what I talked about before. I am trading my aluminum for coal because I got to get some factories in my cities. That's more important right now than anything else I can get with the aluminum, so it's time to start making that happen. My happiness is getting dangerously low. At this point, though, happiness is not that important. My cities are as big as they are going to get, and I'm not going to build any more cities, so I can dip into the negative with happiness a little bit. I can't go too far, otherwise I'll start getting uprisings in my cities. But I generally don't go below 5, -5 on happiness. I 90% of the time, 95% of the time, I'd say I keep it in the positive, and the rest of the time when it's in the negative, it's just between 1 and 5. Because that is still manageable. And only in emergency situations like this, when I'm desperately trying to get a victory. But yeah, if you take a look at the date in the upper right hand corner, it is 1685. And at this point, people are already building spaceships. I mean, I've mentioned this before, but that is just to show how difficult this game is at the deity difficulty level. I mean, the other civilizations, they start progressing so fast. But having said all that, I'm still way ahead of more than half of them. I think I'm only trailing the Arabians, the Romans, and the British. So everyone else I think I've passed up. This is one of those cities I don't know what to do with. It's, there's just really, like even now, I'm not sure what I should have done with it. I kind of built it there just to have another city just in case, but, well, that's not a dumb move. I'm starting to build the Oxford University. The idea being that in 25 turns, I get a free technology. I may need that. And I don't need it now because the technologies that I'm researching, I get them in 5 or 6 turns. But later on in the game, those technologies, it's going to take me 20 to 25 turns to achieve. So having a free technology in my pocket is a good thing to have. And I have a great scientist there in my capital just waiting. And the next time I upgrade my social policies, I get 2 free technologies with that. So I'm on the verge of getting at least 4 free technologies pretty soon here. Now Rome has the Apollo program, man. Like I said in my last video, I prefer to be the first to build the Apollo program. This makes me a little bit more confident going forward. It's also a miracle that I'm having friendly. You can see I'm friendly with all the civilizations there. You don't normally have friendly relations with every civilization at this point, but part of that is, one, they hate each other more than they hate me. I spawned on this island all by myself, so I didn't settle lands that any of them really particularly wanted. I stayed kind of above the fray in that sense. And I started trading with them right away. Open borders for money, research agreements. I mean, all those things build goodwill over time. One of the things I miss about religion is religion really helped when you were building relations with other countries, because if you were the same religion, I used to do this strategy with Civilization 4 where I would be the first to find or to discover all the world religions. I'd be the first to discover Christianity. I'd be the first to discover Hinduism and Islam and Judaism, all of them. And that way, I had great relations with everyone because nobody wanted to go to war against the country that founded their religion. I wonder why I didn't take that. I guess I figured I needed the gold for more research agreements. And he's playing hardball. This happens sometimes, even though you're friendly with certain civilizations, they still play hardball with you in the negotiations. Not really much to talk about while everybody else's turns are processing, mostly because I don't care what they're doing. So I don't know if you notice, I'm starting to time up my free technologies. My social policies, I just checked them. I will upgrade my social policy in about 20 turns. The next social policy I'm going to upgrade to will give me 2 free technologies. And my Oxford University will be completed in about 20 turns also, and that will give me a free technology. I try and sync those up as best I can. I don't like to be in a position where I'm stuck having to use my free technology on something that I've already partially researched. I don't want to waste the turns. I gotta keep it all very efficient. Here I'm starting to use my workers to build production tiles and railroads. Railroads are just going to help transport the spaceship parts more quickly to my capital. And I'm using that other worker to build a camp and a lumber mill where the forests are located. Just every little thing you can do. And they are little. They don't upgrade your production by a lot. You get 1 or 2 production points, but every little bit helps. Now, you don't want your workers just out there building farms at this point, because farms aren't going to help you. About 20 turns until I get those 2 free techs. Not even close to getting the Apollo program yet. That is... Yeah, here you see I'm trying to sync them up. 19 for my social policy, 17 for Oxford University. If I can sync those up a little bit. There you go. 19 for both. So... So I'm finally getting to Rocketry. Rocketry is the tech I need for the Apollo program. Give me 11 turns. Still have a lot of research agreements coming in. Right now I'm trying to figure out if I need any more research agreements. Oh, I decided to use it. I don't normally do that, but I am very desperate right now to get caught up. So I want to start building the Apollo program as soon as I can. And now that I've got this Hydra dam built in my capital, I will start building the Apollo program. And I want to get that done first before I've researched any of those other techs to build the spaceship. I hate having the tech to build the spaceship without having the Apollo program, because even though you have the tech, you can't build the part until the Apollo program is finished. So again, trying to sync it up so that I can get the Apollo program finished just as I'm getting those technologies discovered. Again, it's all about efficiency and not wasting turns. Great thing about this game is there is no just one way of beating this. I mean, this is obviously how I like to do it, but you know, I know people that can beat this game with a military victory, and it's exciting and it's fun, and they aren't as detail oriented with what they do during their turns. When it comes to science and everything else, they just love to build up their military and conquer. And I've just found that I don't have that skill. My skill is more around balancing all these things out and making good deals. And so, yeah, the great thing about this game is you can do it my way, you can do it your way, you know, whatever works for you. It's adaptable. I'm a pacifist by nature, at least in these games I am. I don't know if people would say I'm a pacifist in real life or not, but definitely in this game, going to war is just a waste of time for me. It I mean, it's fun. It's always fun to conquer somebody, but it's it's just a waste of time. 10 turns. Okay, that's good. Sometimes anything above 10 turns, I get discouraged by. I want to get that stuff finished as soon as possible. So 10 turns for the Apollo program. And once I get that finished, I'll be ready to wrap this up. Oh, another great scientist. So that's another free technology I can use really at any time. Great thing about that is I don't have to worry about science so much anymore. I'm getting to the point where I will have all the technologies I need pretty quickly. So I can start shifting the focus of my cities away from science and towards production. Good thing there is those factories are almost done. I just had 2 turns for one and 4 turns for another, so yeah, my cities are starting to get going here. I found a use for that city up in the north. Build Oxford and get me a free technology in 16 turns. That's all I needed to do. I don't need anything else from it. A lot of this stuff wasn't planned either. I didn't plan to have an extra city up north to um, build my Oxford University while I'm focusing on production everywhere else. It is just something I had to adapt into doing. And that's what this game is all about. You got to adapt to what the circumstances are. In most playthroughs on Deity, I don't have 6 cities. I only have 4. At the most, I'll only have 4. So I don't have that extra option. So I have to make other kinds of decisions. I did make some mistakes in this playthrough, though. I pointed them out in my last video. I should not have gone for the laboratory. The research laboratory. Even though it gives you a big boost in science, the time it took to get there, that time would have been better used going for the spaceship directly. Because I noticed on this playthrough, even once I got the ability to build the research laboratory, I didn't build it. I was in the middle of doing other things. I was pretty angry with myself when I was watching it. I was like, geez, Jeff, why did you even bother? Funny thing, I've actually learned more about how to play this game watching myself play it after the fact than playing it firsthand. You start doing some commentary on yourself and being self-analytical and critical. You learn so much more. I have a couple more research agreements. You know what? I'm at the point, I don't know if I'll even need them. You've probably noticed I'm not initiating research agreements anymore. It's just a waste of money at this point. And I'm not making that much money anyways. I'm only at plus 13. So at this point, I'm just kind of saving up my money for a rainy day. If I start to go into the negative, I want a little nest egg over there to give me a cushion until the end of the game. So, yep, build another hydro plant. And get that production up there. I'm researching robotics now, and that's going to give me the ability to build the boosters for my spaceship. I need 3 boosters, and I'm going to build those in my other cities, not in my capital. So I got to get my other cities' production going and get them ready to do that for me. It's kind of depressing when those stats pop up and you see that you're dead last in everything. In social policies, in science. Actually, in science, I think I'm first, or I'm getting up there. But, with military and with money. But, it's not about being the best at everything. It's about being the best at your strategy. You have to be well balanced in everything, or as balanced as you can be. But you still got to rely on that one strength of yours. Play to your strengths. That's what makes science victory with the Koreans so much easier than everyone else, because you're playing to your strengths. The Koreans have tons of science perks. I still win this game on Deity with a science victory with pretty much everyone else. In fact, yeah, I think, yeah, science is the only way I've beaten this game on Deity. And I can do it with everyone else, but it's always easier with the Koreans. Like in this playthrough, I did not get the porcelain tower, but if I get the porcelain tower with anyone else, it's just as advantageous as playing as the Koreans. I probably would have built the spaceship already if I had done that. So I finally got the Apollo program. I think I'm the 3rd person to discover it. The Romans and the Arabians had it before me. So I'm going to use him. I think I use him to get satellites. That would be the smart thing to do. Yep, good. Because I haven't done anything to research satellites yet. And satellites reveal the entire map. As you can see, the Romans and the British are pretty much conquering the world. The Romans, like me, it looks like they spawned on an island all by themselves, and they wasted no time. They started expanding all over the place. The Arabians, looks like they only have 5 cities. But with just 5 cities, it looks like they progressed very fast with their science. I don't need my scouts anymore, so I'm just going to delete them. I'm curious. I don't know. I see that the British and the Arabians are sharing a border. I'm trying to figure out if they are at war. I think they are. I think that's why the Arabians didn't finish building the spaceship. I think the British started conquering them, and they just didn't have the ability to finish up the job. In this instance, I lucked out, but I have played this game before where if somebody is building the spaceship, I will bribe one of their neighbors to go to war with them for that very purpose, to distract them from building the spaceship. And it just buys you a little bit more time. I didn't have to do it in this instance, but it is an option or a strategy that you can use if if you're running behind. Another reason I use my great scientist to research satellites right off the bat there is I wanted to start building some sort of spaceship component right away. I didn't want to wait for my boosters. And with satellite, you get to, I think you can build the cockpit, something like that. So that's what I'm building now in my capital. I have tons of aluminum, so I might as well get something for it. Don't need uranium, don't need any of that stuff. So yeah, just give me some more gold. Just keep trial and error, just trying to see what she'll give me for it. I didn't like that. But oh well, I had so much. I wanted to get something for it. 350 gold though, that, I don't know. I think I gave it away a little too cheap. Oh, hmm. Gave it away too cheap there too. 3 aluminum is not worth 1 coal. Whatever. So the good news here is, yeah, I'm about to get a bunch of free technologies and more than I'm ever going to need. I'm about to get robotics, so I don't have time to build windmills in those cities for production. All I have time for is the water mill, which this late in the game doesn't do much for you. It's only going to give you a +1 production, but it's something. As you can see, I'm getting ready. Getting ready for those free technologies. They're coming in about 4 turns. See, now at this point I would normally try to research the rest of the technologies I need for my spaceship, but with 2 free technologies coming, don't need to. I can use my science towards something else, start building those boosters. Oh good, it won't take 10 turns. Oh, awesome. We're going to kick some ass here. There. 3 boosters. They're all going to be finished around the same time in these other cities. So that part will be taken care of. I have a 4th part that's going to be finished here in 4 turns. So out of the 6 spaceship parts I need, I'm about to have 4 really soon. And so yeah, even though these other guys have the Apollo program, they haven't been building spaceships. I don't know why, because they got the Apollo program a long time ago, long before I did. But I guess they got distracted with other things, probably wars. Again, that's the reason I don't like to go to war in this game. It's just a distraction. However, as I said before, sometimes you have to play to your strengths, and if you are playing as Montezuma or the Japanese, those are civilizations that it is more advantageous to go a military route because of the perks that come with them. The Japanese in particular, because their fighting units are stronger than the fighting units of other countries. When they're wounded, they keep fighting as if they are not wounded. And makes them very tough when you're fighting against them, but when you're playing as them, it makes a military strategy very fun. So here we go. So there, I used the free technology from the university, and now I'm using the free technologies from... There we go. Now I've got everything I need. And it doesn't matter what I use this last one on. Sure, why not? So got everything I need. Yeah, just don't need anything from you now. Just give me gold. And get my first spaceship component. and it's the cockpit. So we got a cockpit. Gonna go for a stasis chamber now. It would be nice if I could use one of my other cities to build the engine, so I have something going on, but it's not gonna matter. Yeah, looking at the map now, it looks like England is conquering Arabia. So that's why they didn't win. Back when Arabia had discovered the Apollo program, I remember thinking, wow, how did I not beat them? Because they got the Apollo program like 2 centuries ago. They built the cockpit just like a few, just, about a century ago. I thought for sure they were gonna um, win the game. But England saved me. God bless the British. I was playing this in a public location once, and the George Washington was declared war on me. I don't remember who I was, but I remember Washington declared war on me, really for no reason. I yelled out loud, "Fucking Americans!" I was so pissed. And everyone looked at me kind of unsure what to think about me screaming that out of nowhere. You can Got to be sure that if you're ever in public playing this game to keep your emotions in check, because people may not understand. And, well, they won't. They won't understand what you're screaming about. Finally got my first booster. And the engine. That's going to be my last part. And what makes me very happy about that is I see I will have my engine in 7 turns. That makes me happy because sometimes when I play this game, another civilization will build the UN, and after you build the UN, you get to vote on a diplomatic victory in 10 turns. You have to vote.
And whoever builds the UN typically does it because they have the votes needed to win the diplomatic victory. So I see that clock counting down, and it's like, I know I'm going to lose unless I can finish the spaceship in less than 10 turns. So I'm glad to see that I'm going to complete the engine in 6 turns now, which means no matter what, I've got this game won. Man, the British just destroyed Arabia. I think they've only got one city left, and that's not going to last. Doesn't matter, I'm going to win in a few turns anyways, but... And there's not much to talk about here. I'm just kind of enjoying watching this game wrap up. Um, it's, like I said, it's very, very satisfying to beat this game at such a hard difficulty level. I've played a lot of video games, and I don't think I've ever played anything as hard as this game is at its highest difficulty level. Um, I'm trying to think of something to compare it to, and there isn't. If I can use a sports analogy, it's kind of like your high school basketball team playing, an NBA championship team. You're just outmatched completely in every way. But through your cunning and through your intelligence, you're able to pull it off. And it is very satisfying. 2 more turns. At this point, I put everything on, you know, make me money because it doesn't really matter in my cities anymore. You don't have to build anything, and it's just about wrapping the game up. And there we go.
So the year is 1854, and or 1856. And in 1856, I have completed a spaceship that can travel to another solar system. Very proud of that, and with that, we watch it lift off, and we have won the game. So I want to thank all of you for watching. This was a very fun thing to do. I've never posted a playthrough before or a commentary. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you liked this, go ahead and hit subscribe, and I will post some more videos in the future, and hopefully you'll enjoy those as well. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.